Yes, sir.
Awesome, awesome. Let me just touch Christine. Make sure you reach out to Scott Joseph. To Scott Joseph.
Hey, thank you.
Awesome, awesome. All right, then we also go to Todd and Chunn to page to see some previous episodes. Cool, cool. Hey, Debbie, how you doing? Ezekiel.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, Ezekiel. Hey, Carson, Michael, Scott Joseph and Cameron, they work together. They just bought a house in Madison Heights. I hope it's okay to say that, Scott. So
Yeah, no problem.
yeah, so there's some good buyers.
Cool. Welcome.
Looking for more.
And Scott's gonna possibly be a villa agent, hopefully.
What?
I was talking to Maureen about that still.
Yeah. Yep.
Definitely considering it.
Yeah, you should, really. There's a lot to do in this office. Michael and Carson, they're about to take their test. I know Michael is. Carson's hopefully soon. He's a little behind, I think.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like they need it exactly, but
Not need, but want.
yeah,
You know,
can't hurt.
so
Right.
yeah, exactly.
And there's
Exactly.
there's some tricks. If you have your real estate license, there's some tricks to it that help you. If you're a flipper, if you're a wholesaler, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, even just listing my own flips on the MLS, I mean, that would be nice, but I can do that now for $150. So I wonder where Christian is from last week.
Probably sleeping. I got two people, Carson, that want our deal already.
Yeah.
One is my guy that I sell a lot of the houses to in that area. So
What are you marketing it for?
just what we said, 79.9.
There we go, man. That could be a good one.
Yeah, we'll make a couple dollars each. So, you know,
You think it's gonna close? What do you think about the title work?
I'm recording this too, so yeah. That's the key. If the title's messed up, we'll just take a little longer. That's all. You know.
Gotcha. He's got a funeral to pay for on Wednesday, is why he wants to close so soon. So, you know, we'll see what we can do though.
Front up. Maybe we could front up some money. Figure it out.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Yep, we'll get it done tomorrow. Just let me know. I'll text you the seller's info. You can do showings and all that.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, we'll get started in 2 minutes. How's that sound, guys? Michael.
Let's do it.
Cool. All right, let's see. New Jersey. All right, that'd be great.
So do you have any background in real estate, Debbie, or is this gonna be like the starting out for you?
Yes, I did have a real estate license a while back in New York. I also work in a property management company, so I'm
Nice.
familiar with residential and commercial. And I just want my license to make extra money before I go back.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Nice. Hey, also, Debbie, I know somebody I'm gonna connect you with, where what we're doing here in this area, we could provide some leads for you for wholesaling in New Jersey.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Yep. So we call that squatting up. You squat up together, do deals together.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Hey, Amanda.
Wanted to,
Ezekiel was on there last week. I remember now. He was saying he implemented some of the tips, had 2 deals almost under contract. We're gonna start in like a minute, but what does almost under contract mean? Like, what? Tell me about those deals real quick.
So one of them, the seller and I have already agreed on a price. So I'm just getting out the PA tour. And the other one, it doesn't want to budge on the price, but needs, both of them are in Warren, Michigan. The guy
Yeah.
said it's very firm. It's only going to go on 100K. So we are still talking. And I drove for $1 over the weekend. I just drove around, pick up addresses and start texting, and I skip press them and start texting. And I just wanted to
Sweet,
get that
man.
feedback. Yeah.
Was the
Awesome.
100K one in Warren on a street called Helle, Helle?
No, this one was in Charlotte Street.
Okay.
Yeah. I posted it on social media and but yeah.
I may as well leave. I got something.
Yep.
I think all of them are all saying 100K for Warren. At least I've had the third one today, this morning, said 100K. Take it or leave it. So I don't know.
Well, as a real estate agent, you can, if you got someone, of course, you try to, you're trying to solve problems. We always ask them, why don't you just list it? And because that might be the right way to go. And if it is the right way to go, if you're a real estate agent, even if you're not good at it, or if you don't have the time for it, you squat up with someone that's good at it, has the time for it, and you could split the commission with them. Everything's negotiable at that point. They could list it, and you're still making some money without doing much. You're not, all you're doing is setting up or setting it up. I did a couple of those this week where I just sent it to another agent friend of mine. He's going to run the appointment and end up listing the house. So that's a way to do it if they won't budge. But if there's a problem there and they have to move fast, and we'll talk about acquisitions today, and they still want 100 and it's worth 100, they're gonna have to understand it. Or if the house needs repair, yeah, I want 400,000 for my house that's not worth 400,000. So we just gotta kind of show them what's realistic and what's not realistic.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
And you can always offer them seller financing too, because if you can get that deal on terms, then that's a deal all day, especially if it's a livable house. If you get it with 10 grand down and then you do the rest on a land contract, you can sell that in Warren for 25 grand down, and then you can make 15 grand on it. So that's another option too. So usually I ask them, if they're way up on the price, I might throw out a lowball number, unless I know they're not going to accept it. Then I'll just say, why haven't you listed with a realtor? And then my next is just, would you be interested in seller financing? And if they're not interested in that, but they're interested in selling, the really only other option is listing with a realtor. So then, like Todd said, just refer them to a realtor and get 50% of their commission, and you can make 5 grand off just sending a text message. So, but you can definitely make some money with the creative financing.
I will explore those options. Thanks.
Yeah.
Todd, can I ask you a question? Can you do a short walkthrough how the wholesaling process goes?
The wholesaling process, like any type of like what a wholesaling process is. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, like just a general one.
Yeah.
I do have some idea about it, but just refresh my memory in regarding.
Yeah, absolutely. you get you could get different types of lists, pre-foreclosures, landlords, high equity, unknown equity. There's all kinds of different lists out there. And there's all different ways of doing it. You could door knock, you could direct mail, you could do things like that. But the fastest way of doing it, and we have some old things, old YouTube pages that you can watch also. But the fastest way of doing it is either driving for dollars, where you drive around and get addresses of rundown homes, and then you get their phone numbers, and then you call them. Okay, and it's really simple. And we're going to talk about acquisitions today, but you just call them, and you could say, hey, hi, ma'am, how you doing? My name's Todd. I'm a real estate investor. I'm calling regarding your property on Mack Street. And the reason for my call is I'm looking to buy another property here in the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're just looking for, we do a lot of different things. We buy rental properties, or we might fix and sell it. I was just calling to see if you're in the market for a fair cash offer. Okay. So you're just trying to have a conversation with them, and you're trying to find out if someone says yes, and if someone said yes, you say, well, if I may, let me ask you a few questions, and I'll see what I could do. Or they might say yes. How much can you pay for my house? So then there's a script you go through, and you get some details of the house. And we're going to talk about acquisition. So let's say you get a lead and it sounds pretty good. You could, make an appointment and go look at the house. If you're brand new, I suggest you squat up with someone that has some experience in your area that does wholesaling, even if you give them half of the commission, 50-50 of the assignment fee, so you can learn even more. They might have a buyer's list. But you go to the house, take up 50 to 100 pictures. You talk to them. You try to get, you're always trying to get it for as little as possible. The lower you get it for, the more you can sell it for, and or not necessarily the more you can sell it for. Excuse me. The lower you can sell it for and make money, and it all goes faster. You're making them happy because they're getting out of the house, they're getting some money, you're making money, and the person you sell it to is gonna do what they're gonna do with the house and make money, and you could close it faster. And so that's pretty much, you're looking for homeowners, distressed homeowners. They might have anything behind on taxes. There might be a tired landlord. I met a guy today. He's just older and wants out of the business. He was a tired landlord. They might owe back taxes, foreclosure, divorce, job loss, relocation. So you're looking for that pain, and those are the people you're looking for that want to sell fast. They really don't want to. They don't want to list it. They don't want to fix it up, and you get it under contract. It's a simple purchase agreement, and the contract says you can assign it. So, and then you go find a buyer. Once you get under contract, you go find a buyer, and you mark it up. It might be $5,000 more, $10,000 more, depending on the deal. You still got to make it a good deal for the next person, and then you assign it to them if they agree, and then they come to closing, and you get paid at the closing. You assign the contract. They have forms for all this. I don't know what they look like in New Jersey, but if you hook up with another wholesaler in New Jersey, they should be able to help you run through the process. What contract to use.
The person that I'm going to squat up with, they already have buyers, correct? Or
hopefully, yeah. So you want to squat up with someone that kind of has some experience, knows what they're doing. If you bring them a deal, or a lead, and sometimes you say, look, I want to work this with you, and you figure out he might give you half of the assignment fee, or he might give you $1,000, whatever you got to do in the beginning. if they're gonna, you'll know if they seem legit, if they seem like they're gonna help you. You need to
Hello?
get what the purchase agreement is and the assignment agreement,
Yeah, no, appreciate it.
like that. So
Oh, sorry, Todd.
that's okay. Yeah, we do that all the time. We help people. If you're here in Michigan, you'll just call me, Carson, or Michael, and we would split it 50-50, and we'll do everything and show you, so,
Yeah.
we think if we help you, we're making money, we're helping you, we're going to be friends forever and hopefully making money a long time together. So
Cool.
Yeah, to find someone who's not greedy, and you can usually tell people who give you the time of day when you're starting out are the people you want to partner out with, because those are the people who are going to go above and beyond once you give them a deal to explain, not only just get the deal done and split it with you, but explain the process so you can do it on your own after that. But it's just fun. Like you said, all those different marketing strategies, you find a discounted property and you sell it to somebody for more money, and it's just two pieces of paper. So it really all comes down to just looking for deeply discounted properties. That's how we make our money. And then, when we're not doing that, we're selling deals. But as soon as we have free time, that's exactly what we go back and do, because we want to make it so it's consistency with the deals coming in. We're talking about acquisitions tonight, so really heavily focused on like not necessarily sales, but once you get the lead, we talked about lead generation last week, whether that's driving for dollars, or cold calling or bandit signs, how to talk to that lead, what to look for, because a lot of new wholesalers. And between us three, we have, 50 deals a week sent to us, from new wholesalers, which is great. But a lot of them, they didn't pre-qualify them right, so they're wasting their time. And we could have called that seller. I can call a seller right now and in 30 seconds know if it's a good deal or not, know if it's worth following up with or not. There's going to be some that don't turn into deals, some that do. But just kind of talking about how to talk to the sellers, how to figure out a price, and then how to get everything on paper and locked up. Once you get it locked up, that's the hard part. Now you just got to find a buyer for it. And whether that's squatting up with Todd or Mike, whatever that looks like, you can do that, or you can find a buyer for it yourself. So that's what makes the money, though, is getting a deeply discounted property that people are going to want to buy. So like I said, last week we talked about lead gen, this week acquisitions. Let's talk about just each of us. We're not going to go through a whole deal, but how we found a deal recently. Like I'll start with how I found the deal today. So go ahead.
yeah, real fast, I want to just do our quick disclaimer. Let everyone know we're not CPAs, we're not attorneys, we're not lawyers. So anything that we're just might be telling you some things of our experiences or what we know. So I always put a disclaimer like this: anything we tell you, it's a lie. Check it out for yourself and see if it fits. So, just so we don't get sued or anything like that. So just wanted to throw that out there. All right, Carson.
Yeah. So definitely. So how I found this deal today, I got a call, and we all three of us are always on the phone. We talked about that last week. If you're not on the phone, you're probably not making money. But I got a call today from a seller, and he said he wanted to sell his house. So he had reached out to me. He found my website, and on my website it says I can close in 7 days or less, or something like that, like 7 to 14 days. And he was like, I called you because your website said you could close the quickest, and I need to close by next Wednesday. So the appointment was in Detroit, which is about an hour away from where I am. But somebody who needs to sell that quick, and he wanted $65,000 for the house. I figured we would be able to figure something out. We would be in a similar ballpark. So I went out and looked at the house right away because I knew it was a hot lead. And if he was calling me and he needs to sell Wednesday, if I don't set an appointment that day, he's going to immediately call somebody else because he wants to know somebody's going to close for him Wednesday. So I went out there, I got the deal and locked it up at a price that works for both of us, and we're selling it now. So I just sent it to Todd, and I was like, hey, Todd, because I don't have buyers in this area. I said, Todd, this is a Detroit deal. Let's split it. You sell it. Boom, 50-50. So Todd and I are squatting up and doing that literally today. And I just got that call today and I contracted it today. We should have it sold and closed by next Wednesday as long as there's no title issues. So that's a deal I got. Again, it was from Google pay-per-click marketing. So he clicked on my ad and that's how he was able to reach out to me. So it's another option to do if you have some extra money.
Awesome. Good job, man.
Yes, sir.
Michael, what do you got, brother?
Okay. Well, what do I got? I have a deal in Alabama, my first fully virtual wholesale deal, right? This lead came from a generated cold call lead, just like the majority of all my leads come from. But important take from this one is, this lead, I contracted it over the phone, obviously virtually. I then immediately partnered up with a gentleman who's part of my mentorship in the Birmingham area. And soon after, he had buyers and was shown to buyers, right? And so this is kind of an interesting one because not only has this deal been through a couple of wholesalers already, the wholesalers that obviously haven't closed the deal, but this deal also had some pretty interesting title issues, being that the seller that I contracted with, she bought it on a tax deed, which doesn't, in a sense, it really doesn't give her 100% equitable right to the property. Basically, I had to go and find the original, the seller before her, the property owner before her. I had to go and track her down to basically complete the chain of title and convince her to meet with my current seller to get a quick claim deed signed, basically relinquishing the original property owner's interest in the property. So now the seller has a good clean title and that allows me to buy the property. So anyways, kind of a doozy. But shout out to Maureen. She helped me locate the original property owner. And, just like that, thankfully, she's a really nice lady. And thankfully, she lives in the same city as the seller. And so
Maureen?
we get the quick claim deed all fixed up and hopefully close on it here in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, just an interesting one. But, the power of squatting up and then also not giving up on a deal, as soon as I realized that there was a problem with the title, I immediately just got resourceful, right? If you don't have the resources, get resourceful. And I basically exhausted every resource that I could think of. So, so it's an interesting one. It's definitely a learning experience.
And Michael, I remember when you were questioning yourself, should I get this thing? Should I get it under contract? Just because I think of, or you could tell me why, I know what I think, but why was that? Because of
well, in my head, it, and like, to me, the numbers look fine. But when you look at a deal that's already been through multiple wholesalers, it puts a question in your head like, if there's been a couple people before me that weren't able to close the deal, like, why is that, So it kind of made me hesitate, but, I had also gotten like some semi pre-commitments from a couple people in the area that they were interested in it and that's particular prices. So I said, hey, what do I got to lose? So I was very upfront with the lady and said, listen, obviously I'm virtual. I'm going to need to get some partners through. I'm going to need to check the property out. I'm going to need to make sure everything checks out. So, there's nothing wrong with being upfront and honest with the seller with what you're trying to do, especially when you got a deal, similar to this one where you're kind of on the fence about it or this, that. So, but I just went for it. So, and it should be paying off. So I'm happy with it and happy to solve her problem because she's been trying to sell this thing. So,
and once you found out about the title, you could go back to the seller and say, thank goodness I'm working on this for you because I'm going to be able to get this title cleared up so we can close, kind of put in her head, like if it wasn't for you or no one else is going to be able to do what I'm figuring out for you. And a lot of people wouldn't take that time anyway. And
right.
That way, no one could go around you, you don't have to file a claim of interest and things like that. So
Yeah, she super great. She was super grateful and appreciative of me. I told her I put on my private investigator hat and explained to her the situation of me trying to track down this previous property owner. And, she was very thankful and, like I said, appreciative. So told her I'm happy to help her.
Awesome. And, well, I have, I'll tell you about one real fast. It happened 2 days ago. And, I was talking to a seller out of state who has a rental for like 20 years in Detroit. And next to Bagley, which is the next is a up and coming area, like 8 Mile, just west of Wyoming. They got streets like Eileen, Griggs, things like that. But anyway, they have a renter in the house for $800 a month, 4-bedroom brick, and the guy wanted $55,000 for the house. Okay, so the house area, this is $100,000 area now. If you would have told me this 6 months ago, I would have told everyone you're crazy. But that's what's happening in the area. They're really fixing these homes up and they're selling them for big dollars. I think one just sold for 120 in the area, so it's going up. Anyway, and the reason why it's going up because it's across the street from Hazel Park, on the other side of 8 Mile, and that's getting overpriced. So people are coming to this side of town, and they're getting a better house, cheaper house. So that's one of the reasons, in my opinion. Long story short, so I'm talking to the guy. He's out of state, and all he wants is his earnest money deposit, and before he'll sign a purchase agreement. And I talked, and he wants 55,000. So the more we talked, I got him down under, way under that. I got the deal pitched out there right now, so I don't want to say what the price is. I'm selling it for 47.5, so it's under that, right? That's where I'm selling it for. So anyway, talking to the guy, but he still wants an earnest money deposit, So I kind of did it backwards. Is he wouldn't sign a purchase agreement. I actually thought he would, the more I'm talking to him, but then he's like, no, I want you to look at the house first, inspect it, give me a earnest money deposit, and then I'll sign it. So what I did today is we brought through, I went and inspected it with 3 of my buyers that I know buy this area. Okay. So I don't have it under, I have it now under contract, but I didn't have it under contract because of the way the guy was. I could have just stuck to my guns and not get a deal. Or I could try to do it a different, just try to finagle it a little bit differently. And that's what I elected to do. So usually we don't put down earnest money deposits, but if you got a deal sold, you could always use your buyer that you're going to assign it to, use their EMD to put down the EMD for your seller, of course. So that's, it's just a little different type of deal.
Where'd you get that deal again?
That deal came from PropStream.
Sweet. What kind, like where in PropStream?
It came from a brand new wholesaler that doesn't know what he's doing, but he'll pick up the phone and he says, I think someone told me they want to sell. Will you talk to him? And so I called him. We did a 3-way conversation, and I should get him on here next week. I'll make sure he's on here. But anyway, we did a 3-way conversation because I was trying to coach him what to say when he called the guy back. And then finally I said, or I could just call him, say we're partners. You could be on the phone and you listen. And he elected to do that. And he thanked me after. he said, look, I'm so glad you talked to him. I learned so much and I didn't even know half the stuff you were talking about. We were just talking about rentals. I was just talking about the rental and if the city's certified. I'm just trying to throw things in there to see the condition of the property. Are they on a month-to-month lease? Are they up to date? Just all kinds of different things. So, and I got a price out of him, what he thinks the house is worth fixed up, which was less than what it really is.